Our roller coaster design places the major hill at the beginning of the track. Within the major hill is a 20 centimeter tunnel. The major hill at the beginning was decided upon so the marble is able to utilize the large amount of potential energy that the major hill provides when entering the hardest obstacle of the entire roller coaster, the vertical loop. Using a mechanical energy equation, we were able to calculate that the maximum radius permitted by the vertical loop in order for the marble to pass would be 76 centimeters. However, in order to make sure that the marble would 100% pass the obstacle and also have enough velocity and energy for the rest of the roller coaster course, we made the radius of the vertical loop 25 centimeters. Afterward, we left a distance of 50 centimeters after the vertical loop in order for the marble to slow down a little bit when entering the next obstacle, the horizontal corkscrew. We had to make sure the marble was not too fast when entering the horizontal corkscrew because problems surrounding the stability of the roller coaster could arise if the marble had too much velocity entering the corkscrew. Afterwards, the remaining 4 to 7 meters of track is meant to loop back around to the beginning, making the roller coaster a complete circuit.
So after Naman gave me the design plan, I started to think about what materials I should use and how I could use them to build the structure. So as you can see here, I started building it with toilet paper rolls and I cut them in half and taped them together along that side. The other half of the design, which is the back half, is made of just paper. Now, in order for it to make the loops, I used one piece of tape on the inside connecting the rolls, which made it kind of a joint-like system that could make the loops circular. And this made the marble be able to go throughout the entire loop. And this is the entire roller coaster right here. And now I'll show you the actual marble going through it. So here's it in slow motion. I place it into the tunnel, and then as you can see, it's rolling down the major hill. It's going fast, it's really fast, and now it's going up the first vertical loop, and it just slid down there. Now it's going towards the corkscrew. It's going around the corkscrew. And then now it's out.
After Owen conducted the experiment and gathered the data, I made the final calculations. I found that in the vertical loop, the marble had a centripetal acceleration of 34.1 meters per second squared, a g-force of 3.5 g's, and a centripetal force of 0.21 newtons. In the corkscrew, the marble had a centripetal acceleration of 1.21 meters per second squared, a g-force of 0.12 g's, and a centripetal force of 0.007 newtons. Now, we realized that the velocity of the marble was a lot smaller in the corkscrew when compared to the vertical loop, so we decided to figure out the actual and theoretical velocity at the end of the coaster. To calculate the theoretical velocity, we took the gravitational potential energy at the top of the loop, which was 0.11 joules, and as the marble went through the loop, all of that potential energy converted into kinetic energy, meaning that there was 0.11 joules of kinetic energy, and therefore the marble had 4.1 meters per second of theoretical velocity. However, the actual velocity was 2.9 meters per second, meaning a percent error of 29%. Now, this error came from many things, including friction or kinetic energy lost to thermal energy via friction and air resistance, but also due to human error, such as making not correctly accurate measurements and so forth. That's all we have, and thank you for listening.